Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year. I thought this will be a great time to kind of update you with a few things that's been going on, and hopefully you'll get a chance to tell me what's been going on your journey. Don't forget to like, thumbs up, and share this new video, okay? So let's go ahead and chat. Get your coffee, get your tea, and let's get ready to have a little conversation, right? So to bring you up to speed, you all guys know that on October the 27th, I finished my last round of chemo. Yay! And just to kind of bag up for a moment, for those that are very new to my channel, maybe this is your first time and you're wondering what this channel is all about. My name is Tasha Anderson. I was diagnosed on February 15th of 2021 with breast cancer, and I thought it would be a great idea after one of my friends kind of suggested it to me to kind of talk about my journey, and from the moment I found out into the end of my journey with all of my treatments. So that is what I wanted to do, and that's what this channel is all about for the right now, at least anyway. So I wanted to share my journey with battling cancer, and I wanted to hear about your journey, whatever your journey might be. So don't forget to send me a comment. Leave a comment below and let me know how your journey has progressed. How are you doing on your journey, whatever the journey may be? It may not necessarily be an illness. It may be an emotional thing. It may be a financial thing. It may even be a relational thing. But nonetheless, let me know how your journey has gone and how it's progressing as of this year so far. So I just want to drop a couple of nuggets your way and let you know some of the things that I kind of did to help me balance out my long year last year. Because, guys, it's been a full 12 months that I have been fighting this journey called cancer, from the end of January up into the end of December. And I still have one other surgical procedure that I have to do actually on next Monday, January the 10th. And I'll try to talk about that a little bit as well. But the three things that I kind of wanted to kind of chime in with you about and to help you understand, hopefully encourage you along the way, is number one, be honest with yourself and those connected to you on this journey of mine, even not just last year, but even for 2020 as well. I had to learn to be honest with myself about where I am, how I'm feeling, and what I need. And so I want you to make sure you do that this year. I want you to make sure that during this year, whenever you have a need, make sure you acknowledge that need to someone. If you're not feeling okay, it's okay to not feel okay, and to let other people know that when you're not in the mood, when you don't want to do this or go there, let people know where you are. But now make sure we do that in love now, with a little, put some respect on that as well. Make sure we do it in an honorable way. We don't want to do anything haphazardly and to offend or wound anyone else at the sake of trying to be honest, but we still want to make sure that our honesty still comes off in a loving manner. Make sure you also advocate for yourself when you see that there's a question you have, or if there's something that you're not feeling too comfortable about. That was something I had to stand up and learn how to do, was advocate with myself, with my team. I have an absolutely awesome team, but guess what? This is my body. I know what works best for me. And I had to open up some suggestions and ask a couple of times, what about this as an option? Can we do this? Or would I be able to do that? But again, advocating for yourself. Who knows you better than you? Who knows you better than you when it comes to what your body feels like and what's happening in your body? Because everything that was being pumped into my body, there were certain side effects that came with it as well. Some were not so pleasant, some were okay and mild, but nonetheless, I had to advocate and let my doctors know what was going on with me. And the last thing was, I had to find some humor in it, because some of these things were difficult, they were painful, they were some unforeseen things that were taking place in my life over these last almost 2 years, actually. And with all of that, I had to find some things to to laugh about, find some joy in the circumstances and situations. Because if I decided to sit and stay in the sorrow of it, the pain of it, the heartbreak of it, the overwhelming part of it, and not look and try to find something good out of it, because there's always certainly something good out of it. But if I didn't do that, I knew for me, anxiety would build up, anger would build up, resentment, bitter would build up, and most definitely depression would build up. And I knew that if I didn't be honest with myself, and I wasn't honest with myself and others, and especially my team, then I would do myself a disservice. And ultimately, I would do the ones connected to me a disservice as well. So I want you to remember, as you're going through this journey and as we are taking this journey together, that making sure that you're honest with yourself first and foremost, because if you can't be honest with you, you won't be honest with anybody else, right? So making sure that you're honest, advocating for yourself, find the humor in it all. And the best thing about this journey is I started radiation, which was my next phase after chemo. But radiation started on November 16th. I finished radiation on December 21st of this past year, and I had to go through 25 rounds of radiation. And radiation was every single day. And it was difficult. It was very difficult. My skin went through all kinds of changes, from being sensitive to getting dry and hard. Not hard per se, but it got dry, and it got very tight. And eventually it started to peel. But again, the peeling was part of the healing process. And but through it all, it happened so quickly, and the healing process started very quickly after that as well. I noticed towards the very last week before my last day of radiation that my skin was staying very smooth. My oncologist was very proud of how my skin was doing. I had no breakage, and that's something that they've looked very closely at, and to see how the radiation is breaking down the skin. And the biggest thing that they are concerned about is infection. And so they're always watching to see how the radiation is drying out the skin. Is the skin breaking or cracking at any point? Because, of course, they want to prevent any forms of infection. So with me, I did not have that issue at all. Praise God. I didn't have that issue. My skin stayed very moisturized. I was very diligent with that. Moisturizing inside as well as outside. I increased my water intake as well as making sure that we increased my moisturization process as well. Went from moisturizing once a day to twice a day to eventually 3 times a day, moisturizing my skin with my own little concoction that I did. And my doctor was always amazed at how well my skin was doing. My skin did not start actually breaking down severely until the week before my last week of radiation. That's when we start noticing my skin started out with look like a reddish tone, as if it was a sunburn, and that's generally how it starts off. My skin stayed that way until the very last week before my last 2 days of radiation. And typically, my doctor said that the radiation starts to break the skin down, and what I was looking at the very end of my radiation is what people normally see midway their radiation. And then by the time they're finished, their skin is usually very dark, and it has really been burnt from the radiation, because it has broke down the skin so badly. I didn't experience that. Now, the breakdown didn't fully take place until after I finished radiation. And so the very next week, after the Christmas break, and maybe say that Monday after Christmas, I noticed how my skin started to, it was getting darker by the day. Each day it got darker and darker, and my skin texture went from smooth to very coarse, and very, 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 very dry. And I continued to moisturize 3 times a day as instructed. And I remember maybe about that Wednesday, Thursday morning, I was putting on my first layer of, which was my coconut oil. When I put the coconut oil on, the skin started to literally peel off as soon as I touched it. And I was like, oh my goodness. Again, being honest with yourself, I had to brace myself for a moment. I had to stop what I was doing, and just give myself that moment of embracing this new cycle that my body was undergoing. And again, that's that being honest with yourself, recognizing where you are, allowing yourself to feel what you feel in that moment, and then trying to find the humor in it all as well, and being able to embrace and encourage yourself along the way. So after I had that little moment in time where I kind of panicked for a moment, but I had to realize that even in the midst of it coming off, and it wasn't all over, it was in certain spots, and even in that moment, I realized it didn't burn, it didn't hurt or anything like that. It was still sensitive because it had always been sensitive since radiation. But just recognizing and embracing, hey, it could have been so much worse. It could have been burning. It could have did this, that, and the third, but it didn't. And so I had to embrace that and celebrate that and recognize that, hey, this is just dead skin. And people had to remind me it's dead skin, and it's part of the healing process. So it's okay. Just allow it to do what it needs to do. Just keep it clean, and make sure you keep the moisturizing going as you're going through that process. So as you are going through your journey, be reminded that, hey, this is a temporary state. And I know I've said that before, but this is just a temporary state. You won't be right here. It won't look like that. It won't sound like that. It won't smell like that, whatever. All of that is just temporary, and it won't last forever. It will soon be over. Just go ahead and go through the process, but try to find some joy as you're going through the process. Okay, that's what I wanted to leave with you, and that's what I want to encourage you as you go through your journey, and as I am going through my journey as well. I have made it my goal this year, not a resolution, but I've made it my goal to go through this new year with boldness, with authority, with power that the Father has given me to complete my assignment that He's also given me. And whether I have hair, eyebrows, eyelashes, tainted fingernails, no boobs, or whatever the case may be, I am still worthy and capable and able to do the assignment that has been given and assigned to me. And the same thing goes for you. No matter what circumstances you're facing, no matter how difficult, maybe how painful it might be, it is only temporary. Your assignment still is attached to you. And so I want you to be encouraged to finish the assignment, continue the assignment, or even start the assignment that you have been given. And know that you're not in this alone, that we're all on this journey together. I'm here for you as well as I know you're here for me. So make sure you leave me a comment. Don't forget to let me know how you're moving through this journey. Know that I am praying for you. Know that I am praying for you along this journey, because the best is yet to come. Until next time, you have an absolutely awesome, awesome day. Until we chat again, don't forget, subscribe, like, make sure you share the channel and let people know what we're over here chatting about, how we're encouraging and motivating and loving on one another. Can you do that? I'm sure you can. Don't forget, share the channel, like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I love to hear from you. So talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.